Hi, Shonda. My name is John. I'm studying to be a career counselor and actually working in career counseling. Um, I know I wanted to go over the consent, and I appreciate you helping me with this video and actually having the chance to help you with the needs that you're looking for. Um, I appreciate you signing your consent form to do this session. I assure you that everything that we talk about in the session is going to be kept strictly confidential. The only limitations to this is that my supervisor, who happens to be my professor, is also going to be looking at this video also, just to see how we're doing together, working together with the situation that you have. So you mind, I do apologize with the COVID and everything going on. I will be taking some notes if that's okay, looking down.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. What I want to do as far as the assessments go is I'm going to be approaching this from the social cognitive theory of hearing what your needs are. So tell me what I can do for you today. I mean, what brings you into session today?
I've been doing mainly retail management for most of my adult career. The scheduling is not a good fit for anything life-wise. So I've thought about maybe possibly transferring over and doing something in human resources. I've been thinking about that for a few years. I haven't really taken much direction that way or taken any steps towards it because I've been working with the schedule of retail management, and there's not really a whole lot of time to dig into anything like that or really gather the information on how to go about getting started to take that direction.
Okay, so you're looking to make a career change, from what I understand that you're saying, from retail management more into human resources.
Yes.
Tell me about what interests you with human resources.
It's more the part of, we do deal a little bit with that subject in retail management and office management, as far as meeting people, getting to know people's needs, what they need in a career, putting and placing them in the right fit within the store or the organization where they go. A lot of the background and the skills that you need for that is already a crossover skill that deals with what I'm doing anyway. So I think it would be a good fit for me, and a little bit of familiarity there, but more focused on getting away from the merchandising side of things, the sales side of things, and more focused on people. Also the way people are treated in the workplace. I believe somebody should be there to support them in the organization. So that's what really appeals to me, I think, about the human resource
Okay.
aspect.
I see that you really have a willingness to help people and help them to find a job where you feel that it's a really good fit for them. Um, and that's, that's something that's really fantastic from what I'm hearing. You sure you shouldn't be sitting in the chair that I'm sitting in? Because you seem to have the skills to place people in the right type of job that they want to be in.
I think for me, the side of it is not so much about putting them in the position, but once they're in the position they feel that they should be in, being that support behind the scenes,
And
helping them along as they're actually in the role, because people are constantly going to have conflicts or they have things come up in life and they need that support once they're already in their role. So I think human resources is the backbone to really support people when they get into that career, because people don't really leave jobs, they leave people, So I think somebody needs to be there behind the scenes to kind of regulate that once somebody's in their job and in their career role, just to kind of be that backbone to help them with any problems and issues, if there needs to be issues resolved, or maybe they need to be moved to a different location within the organization, just has to help them find a better fit.
what you're saying is pretty amazing, because a lot of career counselors will use a theory called Holland's theory, with the person environment fit based on their values of their abilities, skills, interests, as to what they would like to do, and fitting in with the job type that meets those values and needs that they want to do. So tell me something that was interesting that happened when you were younger when it came to thinking about the type of career that you wanted to do.
I started working really young. I started working as soon as I was 16, got my work permit, and started in a company. And it was hard, especially when you're young, to navigate through getting into a job, let alone a career field. You know what I mean? Just getting started. And you have issues that come up and arise within your company or within your personal life. And that's why I kind of think that it helps to have that backbone and somebody there that you can go to within the company that might not necessarily be your direct supervisor.
Okay, okay. Now, can I ask you another question?
Yes.
Um, when you were younger, who were some of your mentors as far as what you're telling me about a work ethic? Because it seems like you have a very structured work ethic that you like to follow.
One of my biggest mentors was actually my second job I took when I was younger. I went to work for KB Toys, and my store manager he's pretty much the example that I still set to this day for every manager that I want to have or supervisor in a job. He was very relatable. You could come to him with anything. You could talk to him. He really did follow the open door policy. It wasn't just, something they tell you and then they don't want to hear it. He really was there. You could work out whatever you needed to with him. He was flexible. He was friendly. He was approachable. He wasn't one of those managers that once you get to a certain level, they feel like they don't relate to you anymore. You know what I mean?
Okay,
How you get to a certain level and you're kind of closed off because you're not really on the ground level anymore. You're not there seeing what's going on every day. You're not dealing with the customers and the general public every day. When you move out of that environment, you move to a higher office, you're out of that whole environment. You kind of lose touch with your employees, and they lose the touch and don't realize anymore that the ground employees, the cashier, the person that cleans your restrooms, the person that are stocking your shelves, they're going to make or break you, because those are the people in the faces that the general public deals with every day. They don't deal with the district manager in the office.
right. So you feel that working in human resources, you would be able to address these issues of the employees and keep them happy and focused on what they're doing and helping them with any of the needs that they need within the workplace.
Yeah, some of the needs that, like I said, the higher management levels don't see anymore, or maybe they've never seen, because a lot of people these days come straight out of college and they have that background of college, but they've never stepped foot in a retail store. They've never been the cashier. They've never worked a Christmas line and been trampled at the front door. They just don't connect and they don't understand. So I think if they have somebody that's not directly involved with what their position is, that doesn't understand, then it makes their job more difficult.
Okay, so, and then from what I'm hearing, it seems like that you would be that person for them to come to, that would not necessarily be the same level person that they would have problems talking to, but a higher person that they can trust and get help with in their job.
Yeah, because honestly, most people who have problems in their job, the problems that they have in their job is their manager or their direct supervisor.
Okay, and with your job now that you're working, are you looking to move up into human resources within the company that you're working now, or looking elsewhere?
No, I think that I would step up into a position in human resources at the company that I'm currently with as well.
Okay. Now, one thing I like to ask, and we know that it's a common thing going on, and unfortunately, it has been happening as far as equal pay for women in the workforce, being able to attain that position. Do you feel that there are any obstacles in this area for you? Excuse me.
In most workplaces, they kind of discourage any employees male to female, female to female about talking about your salary. That's one reason they don't want you discussing it. They don't want you telling each other how much money you make because they don't want people comparing salaries. I have been in circumstances where I have been paid lower than male counterparts. I've been in situations where I've been paid higher than my male counterparts. I mostly like to think they depend on experience, but it's not always so. Sometimes it's a situation where they may know somebody, they're related to somebody, they're going to get a higher rate than you. It could be that they're a man and they're going to get a higher rate than you because they think that maybe a man would know your particular field better than a woman would be able to do it or know it. So there's a lot of factors that base around that.
Okay. And if I may ask, do you feel like those obstacles may block you from getting into this position?
No, I don't think that they
Okay.
would.
Okay, all right, that sounds good.
I
Um,
think in something related to human resources, I think it would be a more equal playing board than if I were going for, let's say if I wanted to be a general contractor for construction. I think I would have more competition with a male counterpart because people just naturally believe that men are going to be better at construction and that they're going to know it better than women. So, but I think somewhere like in human resources, it would be more equal.
okay, understandable. Now, do you feel that human resources is, from what I've been hearing, it sounds like you really want to help people. Were there any other interests, like as a child, of jobs that you saw yourself doing?
When I was younger, I was interested in psychology.
Really?
I leaned towards more the counseling side of things and psychology and something in that field. But as I got older and I entered the workforce, I pretty much got locked into retail because that's where I started. So I worked my way up through there and I just kind of got locked into that field because that's where my experience grew. And it just seemed that the further I went there, I made more money and I was able to take care of myself better. But then I just kind of got locked into it. And like I said, I couldn't really branch off to another field because of the hours of retail management.
Okay. Are you aware that many companies are hiring career psychologists within their companies just to assess how people are doing with um, job satisfaction, um, their self-efficacy, their self-worth, um, looking at productivity, how people may be happier in their work jobs? Have you ever thought of still getting into psychology?
I haven't thought about it in many years because I kind of feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm older now and I haven't really carved out the time to be able to attend the classes and do the caseloads and the work that would be required to get a degree in that.
Okay, so you feel that your time has passed you by.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that way.
Okay, well, I'm just writing this down right here. I'm sorry, I'll be looking up again in just a minute. Um, okay, so let me ask you a question, if I may. Do you feel that it's just because of your age, or is it time management? Um, or resources that may be stopping you from maybe going to school to get your degree in some business psychology?
I think it started out with time management. Like I said, it would have been hard to carve out any specific times because classes are on a schedule and I wouldn't have been able to work my retail schedule around anything like that. I wasn't sure that I would have the time for any kind of schoolwork at all with those kind of hours. And then as the years went by, it just kind of seems like it would take longer for me because I don't know if like a bachelor's degree would be enough or if I would have to go further than that. And so I would never really made the time to even look into it to find out what I would have to do, how long it might take, or anything like that because I've been so busy with my hours and my schedule in retail.
Right. Well, one thing I'd like to do, like at the end of session before you leave, is um, give you some information. There is this excellent site called OneNet where it will assess your interests and abilities. Basically, it's a person environment fit of types of jobs. It's assessment that you can do online to find out the types of jobs that you would like, the education requirements for the job, which may be something that you would really like to check out to give you time to, assess whether you feel that you have the time to manage even doing online college for your interests in this field. I mean, you seem to have a real passion for wanting to support workers, make sure there's an equal playing field, have an open ear to their problems. And at the same time, you've always shown an interest in psychology as well, which can be a real asset in private industry today. Let me ask you this. Let me go back to this question. Tell me who some of your mentors were when you were younger.
Personally and professionally.
Either or, whichever you feel comfortable sharing.
Probably personally, it's always been my grandfather. He
Okay,
always had a really strong work ethic. He worked 3 jobs my whole life. As far as I can remember growing up, he worked 3 jobs to take care of the family, 7 days a week. And then as I got older, I leaned more towards, like I said, my manager from KB Toys. He was a really good manager. He set a really good example. I've had a few other people going through different jobs and careers that were really pleasant to work for and really made the job easier, just a better place to be. And that's what you look for. You spend more time when you're working in your working life at work than you do at home. You spend more time at work with your coworkers than you do at home with your family. So when you have somebody there that makes that easier and makes it better, it can change your whole life.
sure, absolutely. And it sounds like you've really, from what you're telling me, these people that were mentors in your life have really helped you to shape a structure of a good work ethic, wanting to get the job done, and making sure that your employees, at the time when you were working with managers and stuff, were happy in the jobs that they were doing. Let me ask you this, what are you doing as far as managing your work-life balance for your own self-care?
When I was doing retail management, I didn't. I had no self-care. It was pretty much on call. I worked 60, 70 hours a week. I was always at work. I didn't have much life balance at all. Recently, I've left retail management and taken a step back from that and taken on more roles where I'm not in charge of the building, where I don't have that responsibility of a supervisor or a manager. And that really makes a big difference in self-time that I have for personal hobbies or things I want to do outside of work, or even finding a schedule that's something that's an everyday same routine kind of schedule, so I can build a life outside of work and have hobbies and routines that don't involve work.
Okay. And that's difficult for you now at this time?
At this time, no, it's getting better. Since I left retail management, I've gotten on a much better schedule. It's a regular schedule. There's more time for self-care. There would be more time if I wanted to look into taking some kind of classes or online classes or career training, that I would be able to do that better at this point than I could in the past.
And that's certainly, something that can be done if that is an interest that you're looking to do. I mean, if you really are looking to get into human resources, we can certainly explore that option. Also, with you saying that you were interested in psychology, and I can see that you really care about people and how they are able to function in a work environment, which is, really altruistic, that I'm saying that, you're thinking about the well-being of the workers. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem to be giving off the information that if the workers are happy, it's going to make the overall company happy. Am I correct in saying that?
Absolutely. If your workers are happy and they enjoy being at their jobs and they feel supported and valued, they're going to work harder for you. They're going to respect you more. They want the company to do well. They take pride in where they work and who they work for, and they're going to stand behind the company and stand behind their supervisors if they're treated with respect.
Okay, absolutely. Now, if you are thinking about going further with your education, there is federal funding, Pell Grants, student loan, to put you further into the field to pursue psychology. I'm not trying to sell this on you. I'm just trying to, this seemed to be one of your really big interests that you wanted to get into, but, also tied into work. With human resources, there's no doubt in my mind that you would be extremely helpful to a company. You have a lot to offer. But also from the psychological aspect of it, the job would basically also entail helping other people balance their work-life environment. Sometimes with jobs, there are stressors that are caused from the jobs that'll cause stress at home. Stress at
Mhm.
home, which can affect, job performance on the job. And that is really, I mean, when I'm saying this to you, how would you handle someone if they came to you and explained to you that there was a lot of stress going on at the job? Um, let's make it a female. And there were instances of sexual discrimination or sexism going on. How would you handle that?
I would take in everything they had to say, get all the information, find out where it was coming from, what the root cause is, where they feel it's happening, get all the information, and then go to the root of the issue, find out what the cause is. If it's a specific person that's doing this, then that person needs to be dealt with, whether it's through re-educating them through policies and procedures within the company, or laws specifically in that area, or federal regulated laws. They may have to go through a retraining for those kind of things, or it may be a disciplinary issue. It may be something where if I feel that personality is going to retaliate, or it's going to cause even more of an issue, because a lot of people won't come forward with their problems because they don't want to deal with the conflict that they're going to have with that person, because they still have to see them every day at work. They still have to deal with them every day at work. And you can tell people you can't retaliate, but they still do it. They still find little ways to do it and make you uncomfortable.
Wow. And then that's fantastic that you understand all of this,
Yes.
being a woman. And it can even happen to men
Yeah.
in the field. Um, okay, I'm just looking at the note here. Okay. Uh, so you're here today and you're looking to move up in human resources. What can I do for you as far as helping you make that transition?
Like I said, now that I'm on a more steady schedule, I've come out of retail and I do have the time to work something out as far as scheduling, getting more involved in courses. I think the first step in the beginning steps I would need is the information. Where do I start? If I'm looking at grants, or if I'm looking at loans, where do I apply for those? Who do I contact first? What's my first point of contact? How is that process going to flow for me? What do I do next? How is it going to flow down the line and fit together?
Right, and that's one of the things that we as career counselors help out with. Um, I mean, from what you're saying, you're sort of thinking about maybe, you know, getting into psychology within private industry to help workers that may be having problems. Um, Many of the college institutions around here, their academic advisors, we can put you in touch with to talk to them about schedules, whether you feel that you are a better in-class learner or if you feel that the work schedule that you have, if doing online college would be more feasible for you. Also, there are extra funding that's going on through the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation that can help provide funds for books and course materials that you would need. But the one thing that is we want to make sure is that that is your true interest. Like I said at the end of our session today, I can give you the resources to go on to OneNet and do a self-assessment test to see what your interests are and how you would fit into certain type of jobs. It tells you basically if the job that interests you is a growing field, if it's stagnant. Also, as I explained before, the education that would be needed. And the base salary, starting salary that you would be entry-level position. Now, if I may ask, do you have any children?
No.
Okay, so with no children at this time, and having time at night after work, to study for psychology in private industry, it seems like that you would have the time, but we just need to find out if you feel that you can put in the time, after work, other things that you have to do. Let me ask you this question. Do you feel that you are a better learner in the class or outside of the class? I mean, how familiar are you with technology? As far
I'm
as
pretty comfortable with technology.
you were able to meet me today in this meeting, so
Yes.
I mean, do you feel that you're a better learner in school, like in the classroom, or do you feel that you are able to be able to do it at your own pace from home?
I think I'd be able to do it at my own pace from home.
Okay, that's certainly absolutely doable. And it seems like, you have the dedication and you have a very, within your, your work field, very structured. And you take your job very seriously. And to be quite honest, with doing online college, you have to keep yourself very structured and you have to make sure you have your self-care, but you seem like the type of person that also is good and adaptable with time management skills.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good at managing my time. And
Okay. All right, so we can start getting in touch with colleges in the area. Now, do you drive?
yes,
Okay, so we could set up some sessions I can get in touch with academic advisors. We can, in our next session, talk about colleges within the area that you would probably feel comfortable with. Let's see what we're doing here now. I think that would be an absolutely fantastic thing, but I do encourage you to go on the OneNet site that I'm going to provide for you. Some of the other resources that are available out there for females is a link called Career Girls, where you can see a lot of different things that are going on in the field with women, mentors that may be in your field that you're looking to pursue. And looking at a mentor for support is really important. I mean, let me ask you real quickly, who do you have right now as supports if you were to go to college?
I have a few friends. I don't have any immediate family members around, but I have a partner, I have a boyfriend, and I
Okay,
have, some friends that are long distance, but they're still pretty supportive of me.
okay, so that's great that you would have supports that would help you out with that.
And I would have a financial advisor and a career advisor, somebody like you that can help me with the steps along the way to get started.
Absolutely, that's what I'm here for. Um, so I think, I would really like to find out your results. Do you have the capabilities to print out like what your results would be from taking the one net that I'm going to provide you with, the test for abilities and interests and values to match with jobs?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we have you do that? And at the same time, I'll be looking at, and I encourage you to do the same, look at some of the colleges in the area. Set up some appointments with the academic advisors and have a chance to talk with them. Because this is very doable for you, and your work ethic seems absolutely fantastic, where you would be a strong woman in the field that can really help people, you know, retain their tenure in jobs rather than leaving because they have no one to turn to.
I've had many employees when I've left the companies I've with and gone to other companies, they want to go with me. Some of them have gone with me to several different ones. So
So
they
you're
enjoy
not,
working with me and for me. And I'm proud of that. That says a lot for a manager and a supervisor when you can form relationships like that within the workplace.
right. So what I'm seeing also is a leader that people like to follow.
I try to be.
Yeah, and you should be proud of yourself over that. You really should. But okay, so I think that sounds like a pretty good plan. I mean, this is your plan that you're going after. Is this something that you want to pursue and we'll work on together?
It is. I'm excited about it. I think having those first steps and having somebody kind of guide me towards the first steps and how to get started will really help me open the doors to go forward with deciding where I want to go with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Shonda, I want to thank you for, being here with the session today. I apologize that we're doing it over Zoom, but with the COVID going on. Um, but it was very interesting listening to your interest in the stories that you had to share. And we're going to work together to get you there.
All right. Sounds really good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. You have a great day and thank you for coming in today.
You too.
Bye bye now.
Bye.